Hi, I'm Karen McCarthy, and it's time to Karen-ize. Today's Wednesday when we talk about spiritual health, and today I want to talk about a really big subject, and that is the fact that God is everywhere. There's a fancy word for it, omnipresent, meaning He is everywhere. In Psalms 139, verses 8 through 10, it says, "If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast." There is nowhere we can go where God isn't already there. I really love that concept. Excuse me, I have a tickle today, so you'll have to pardon me when I cough. God's always with me. I can always depend on Him. I can lean on Him. I can trust on Him. And that's so very comforting. Because, in this world, we humans, we let each other down. Even when with our best intentions, we still can't meet the needs of everyone around us. And some people do it on purpose and some people don't. They try really hard, but we're always going to be let down by people. Some more than others, of course. But God, He's always there, and I don't have to phone His secretary and make an appointment. He doesn't have to check his appointment book to see when He has an opening to talk to me or listen to me. I can sit down with Him anytime and know He has time for me. Now, there is a flip side to those verses, and that is sometimes we are wanting to run from God, right? Think of Adam and Eve. After the fruit incident, they were trying to hide from God. But He knew exactly where they were, in what condition they were, and what they had done. And then Jonah, thinking he could run from God's ordained mission. Well, he had an incredibly gastric experience to show how impossible it is to run from God. But whenever God has a lesson to be learned or discipline to be handed out, there's always a silver lining. The silver lining to the running cloud, I call it, is that no matter what we've done, no matter how hard, fast, and long we run, God's love never wavers. I remember seeing a kind of a comic or a cartoon, and it said, "If God feels far away, guess who moved?" Now, God doesn't move. He's always right there, and we can't really move away from Him because He's everywhere, but we can kind of turn from Him. I forgot where I was going with that. Do you ever have those moments? My husband calls them senior moments. The silver lining, though, is that, even when we turn from Him and we're going through struggles and we feel like He's not there, He is there. He's always waiting. His hand is reaching out to us. He's always waiting for us to return to Him or remember, oh, I'm in a hard time. Why am I trying to do this on my own? Let me talk to God about this. Let me give this to God. He is always there. He doesn't judge us when we come back to Him. We may have to pay consequences for things we've done or whatever, but think of the prodigal son. He left, he squandered all the money, he was living way the way he wasn't supposed to. And yet when he came over that hill and started coming down into where his father's tents were, I guess back then, his dad didn't stand there like, "Okay, what have you been doing? What are you going to do to pay me back for all of that?" He ran out and embraced him and welcomed him in and gave him the best clothes and had a big feast. And that's what God's like. He doesn't condemn us. He just loves us. So if you ever feel like God is far away, just remember He is there. We may not see or feel Him. There have been times in my life I have physically felt His presence, but there are other times when it's like, I don't feel it. But just because we don't feel it doesn't mean He's not there. So just remember that, and remember, there's a gazillion places where He makes this promise, but in Hebrews 13:5, He says, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." He is always there for you. Just turn to Him. Have a great one. I'll talk to you next time.